When Trump got inaugurated on Monday, one of the things he knows how to do, I'll give him credit for this, he knows how to do it well, is he knows like there's a difference between you have to give a professional, nice speech here where we're going to write it out for you and you're going to read the teleprompter. And then when the teleprompter's off, he does like the rally speech where he just trashes everybody. And that's what he actually wants to say. But during the part of the speech where he actually had a teleprompter and it was written for him, this is the sort of stuff he was saying about God. He said, this is from Religion News Service right here, but I felt then, and I believe even more so now, that my life was saved by God to make America great again. I'm sure that's a fine line. He's referring to the first assassination attempt. But he doesn't believe this. I don't know. It just comes off as so disingenuous. He later added that his administration will not forget our country. We will not forget our Constitution. Buddy, you just called for the end of birthright citizenship. You don't care about the Constitution. And we will not forget our God. When Barack Obama got inaugurated, one of the things I remember from 2009 is that when he spoke, he talked about how our country is made up of, and I'm paraphrasing here, Christians and Jews and Muslims and everyone else and non-religious people too. He gave lip service to the idea that we are a melting pot when it comes to religious beliefs. And here is Trump on the other side of things just saying, yep, it's our God. It's all the same for all of us. And there are no other options, right? We will not forget our God. First of all, Trump forgot about that God a long time ago, but also no. Like this idea that the only people who are true Americans are the ones who share his original skin color and the ones who believe the way he pretends to believe. And he insisted the U.S. will be respected and admired again under his leadership, including by people of religion, faith, and goodwill, because atheists don't count. So there was that in his speech. There was something else I wanted to show you. Oh, this is interesting note from Religion News Service. They said, Jack Jenkins is the reporter, he pointed out that after Trump's remarks, there were going to be a bunch of prayers from a bunch of different people. Specifically, Rabbi Ari Berman, who's the president of Yeshiva University, Pastor Lorenzo Sewell of 180 Church in Detroit, and the Reverend Frank Mann, who is a Catholic priest in the Diocese of Brooklyn. But there was a fourth person who was supposed to give a benediction as well, because all three of those guys I just mentioned did speak, but there was a fourth person who was on the list, and it was a Muslim. And look at what RNS writes. Missing was Imam Husham al-Husseini, who leads this Islamic education center in Dearborn, Michigan, a city with a large Muslim American and Arab American presence. This guy supported Trump during the campaign, helped Trump get votes in Dearborn, was supposed to be one of the faith leaders speaking and giving a benediction. And then they were like, yeah, dude, you're not getting up on stage. We're not putting you up here. Don't you know who we are? It says here, the reason for his absence was not immediately clear, and al-Husseini could not be reached for comment. You know what happened, though, right? They said this dude's going to give a benediction, and then at the last second, they must have realized, we can't allow a brown person who is not one of our people to give a benediction. You can let Jewish people do it, that's okay, but not a Muslim. Don't you remember what party we are? And they're like, dude, don't come here. Don't get on stage. So that's what you get if you're not a Christian and you're supporting Trump. That was dumb on his part. Here's another story that we could talk about. When Trump got sworn in and he took his oath of office, this was the picture with Carmen Sandiego holding the Bibles here. Trump took his oath of office. He has his right hand up in the air while John Roberts delivers the oath. And where's his left hand? Traditionally, it's supposed to be on the Bible or Bibles. And where's his left hand? It's not on the Bibles. And look, this does not actually matter. I don't actually care about this. I'm just saying, if Joe Biden, if Kamala Harris did not put their hand on the Bible, you would see every conservative idiot saying, well, she's not really president then because, I don't know, George Washington must have said you have to put your hand on the Bible, otherwise it doesn't count, which is not a thing. And it's all made up. But again, if the Republican Party is the party that's all about tradition and Trump doesn't do the tradition, where's the outrage? I'm just asking Republicans to treat Republicans the way they would Democrats, but hypocrisy is all the party stands for. So, by the way, I was kind of surprised that there are two Bibles that Melania is holding there. Not a single one of those is the Trump Bible. I thought he would have grifted off of that, but no, they were like just two other Bibles or something. I forgot what the origin stories are for those, but it wasn't one of the ones he was trying to sell. I imagined that he would just take his oath, sign the Bibles, and then try selling it to the highest bidder. Wouldn't put it past him. But in this case, he just forgot they were there and did nothing. And again, Republicans did not care, which is great. I think we should do away with the Bibles. You should swear in on whatever book you happen to actually like. And in previous years, people have taken their oaths of office on Carl Sagan books, on Superman comic books, on the Constitution, whatever. It's all good. It's all just symbolic anyway. But like, if you're going to go through the symbolism, then like go all the way. Don't pretend it's not there. There was another story that was interesting too. Oh, before I leave from this story, Right Wing Watch pointed out that there is a MAGA pastor named Shane Vaughn who saw people complaining about this, that Trump did not put his hand on the Bible. And Shane Vaughn wants you to know, you guys, Trump absolutely put his hand on the Bible. He did. He's gaslighting everybody, but he said he did it. And what was his pop quiz? What reasoning did Shane Vaughn give to say that Trump actually did put his hand on the Bible? I'll answer it for you in just a second, but can you guess what defense he gave? As I pull this up, here's the defense he gave. You can pause the video now. All right, here's what he actually said. Shane Vaughn said Trump did have his hand on the Bible because Melania was holding the Bibles and he owns her. Here's what he said. She, who happens to be him, because they are one, she was holding her hand on the Bible. These two shall become one. So yes, he did have his hand on the Bible because his wife did. Because the way taking your oath of office works is if you're touching someone who's touching someone who's touching someone who happens to be holding a Bible, there's some law of Jesus transference, and it just works. And again, I would just say, Kamala Harris tried that. I don't think this dude would be saying the same thing because they're all liars. There was one other element too. I mentioned that one of the pastors who was giving a benediction after the inauguration, his name was, what was it, Lorenzo Sewell? Well, shortly after he gave the benediction, this dude, Lorenzo Sewell, went on, I assume this is TikTok, but he went online and he posted a video telling everyone to buy his crypto coin. He capitalized on his 2-second prayer by telling everyone to buy his crypto. And this is from a crypto site. But look at this. According to Gecko Terminal, the token was launched at whatever time that is. It reached a high of whatever that is within 3 hours. However, it then plummeted almost 97% in just 30 minutes. Okay, I don't know who's dumb enough to just buy that stuff, but this guy's been a pastor for 7 years and told Fox News it's impossible to be politically neutral, and he's hosted Trump at his church. So this guy used the opportunity to pray, who had the opportunity to pray in front of Trump. He used it to just try to make a buck off of it, and Republicans everywhere are totally fine with this. But they're mad at the pastor who said, try following Jesus. And they're saying she's the bad one. But guy who's grifting off of his benediction, that dude's cool. Got it. That's how this works. Oh, yes, I did see this right before I did this live stream. Representative Andy Ogles from Tennessee introduced a resolution to change the 22nd Amendment so Trump can have a third term. That is a thing that actually happened, because that's absolutely what they want to do. That's what the next 4 years, man. That's what it's all going to be like. It's just Republicans jumping atop each other to do the worst thing imaginable. They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about what's good for America. They definitely don't care about the price of eggs, right? Um, and then what I wish, I'm kind of upset that right now Democrats don't seem to have a game plan. I we need an opposition party, and right now we have a bunch of Democratic leaders who are still stuck on this idea that we need to work together with Republicans, which is ridiculous. And I don't know which Democrat's going to figure out that's not how anyone wants it to work.